Good morning, fathers. This is Ephraim B. Martin. I am 58 years of age, and I am a girl dad of 4 adult daughters. So, Father, today we are going to discuss the third stage of development for our daughters, age 14 to 18. They are now entering high school. Fathers, this is pretty much it. Once they get to high school, they are, this is pretty much it. They have 4 years left, and then they're going to be graduating. So at this particular stage in their lives, they're 14 years of age, and most of our daughters are going to be working or want jobs, and they want to have their own money. So I encourage all fathers to allow their daughters to work a job. And with all of my daughters, once they turned 12 years of age, I had all of them first aid and CPR certified, and they all started babysitting at 12 years of age. So by the time they got to high school, their very first jobs, more than likely, were in fast food or working at a restaurant with a work permit. So we definitely want to encourage our daughters to work, fathers, and we also, this is the time where they can get exposed to financial literacy as well as life skill classes at school. And we want to encourage them to do that, as well as also continue to advocate for them. Now, once our daughters get to high school, they'll be driving in a couple of years, which is another worry, because we know what happens when teenagers get a hold of their vehicles. They tend to do their own thing, which is fine, which is cool. But we actually, once they get to high school, we actually get to fall back a little bit, fathers, and just enjoy watching how they move, because their friends at this stage, getting to high school, are totally different. More than likely, they've had different friendships between the primary grades, K through 5, middle school, 6 through 8. So now high school, 9 through 12, a whole different level of friends, or if they have established friendships from being little girls. Hopefully those little girls have followed them into high school, but more than likely they're going to encounter a whole new bunch of group of girls and friends. High school is not going to be as difficult as middle school was, because our daughters are more focused. They tend to be a lot more mature. Some of them are late bloomers, so some of them may start developing. Most of our daughters, by the age of 14, they may still be developing. And once again, fathers, this is not the time to check out on our girls if their bodies are still developing and still changing. Okay. This is the time where they're going to be interested in boys, and boys are going to be giving them a lot of attention because they've been watching them. The older boys that are juniors and seniors definitely going to be checking out the freshmen and sophomore girls. That's just what they do, particularly freshmen. They're new on campus. They're new faces. The older classmen, juniors and seniors, haven't seen them. So they're definitely very interested in these new prospects on campus, as we might say. I personally enjoyed my daughters getting to high school because all of my daughters were completely focused. They were planning their futures. And I just really, really enjoyed watching them continue to grow, and as young ladies. Many of them will be involved in extracurricular activities as far as sports. Introduce them to community service. I think community service is one of the best things that our daughters can do, so they could learn what it's like to give back to the community, all communities, regardless of their culture. They're going to be meeting new kids, different challenges at high school. What I did was I made sure that I fell back completely. I don't do high school. I didn't. So what I mean by I don't do high school, I didn't meet with their teachers. They needed to figure this out. If they were having issues at school that weren't disciplinary, they need to work with their teachers. They need to work with the resources, because I've taught them from kindergarten to ninth grade how to have these habits of learning, have these habits of consistency in learning. So by the time you get to high school, you need to work it out with your teachers. I had a rule in my household: if I have to intervene with any of your teachers and you didn't handle it, we're going to do it my way. So all of my daughters understood that. And I didn't have a single issue with any of my girls once they got to high school. They figured it out and handled it themselves. And that's the way that they wanted it, because they didn't want their fathers involved. Once again, once they get to high school, boyfriends may be an issue, but most little girls, by the time they're 16, they know they got 2 years left before they graduate from high school. So they're not thinking about little boys. They're working and making their own money, which is a beautiful thing, because the way they spend their money and the way they spend their parents' money, we both know as parents, it's totally different. So I encourage that. Allow them to work. If they're interested in college, whatever their interests are in high school, let them pursue it. Our job is primarily to continue to guide them and be a resource for them, be resourceful for them, because they're going to want to figure this out. Once our daughters get to high school, many of them just think we exist. Nothing more, nothing less. Once again, fathers, don't take it personal, okay? Their hearts are in the right place. High school kids, I was the dean of students at this time. And high school kids are really, they're resourceful for the most part. They don't require a lot. By the time our daughters become seniors, once they become seniors in high school, they're not thinking about freshmen or sophomore kids anymore, unless they have siblings that are at that stage and at those ages. Most senior girls, most of them are 1, 2, 3, 4 classes, and then they're out working. And they're not thinking about anything other than graduating, getting out of high school, and transitioning into their next life. So it's a beautiful thing to see. You get to see everything that you put in them come out. You get to enjoy high school more as a father, and not so much be a chauffeur, because at that stage, when they're 16, they get to drive. And if they have their own vehicles, which I made sure my daughters did, because I'm done being a chauffeur. Handle your business, do what you do. It's a beautiful stage. So look forward to it, fathers, because you've earned it. You've put in a lot of hard work. You've put in a lot of hours. You've put in a lot of sleepless nights. Pat yourselves on the back. Give yourselves high fives and everything in between, because we've earned it. They're in high school. So let's ride it out and let's enjoy these young ladies. Okay? We've watched them change before our very eyes and become young adults. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And like I said, fathers, you've earned it. So that's pretty much it. What's going to happen in high school? Not much is going on, other than they're going to be a lot busier. You're not going to see them as much. You may see them on the weekends more than anything else, and they're going to be in and they're going to be out, because they're going to be doing their extracurricular activities, working, playing sports, and preparing themselves for their future. So fathers, I want to commend you, give you props for staying in your daughters' lives, being active, because we are needed. Regardless of what the world says, fathers make the difference in every child's life, whether they're a boy or a girl. Fatherlessness in the United States is an epidemic. And if we are not there for our kids, a lot of them are going to suffer, plain and simple. Okay, fathers, until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.